Hello and welcome. It's yet another episode of a Star to Steer. Damn it!
I think it's our first episode of that show.
It's because of all the S's. All the S's in our name is hard with the teeth.
Sar. Oh, fair enough, dude. Yeah.
I'm on set 6 now.
The Undiscovered 2-3.
Yikes. It's yet another episode of A Star to Steer Her By, your favorite Star Trek watching podcast. We're on episode number 376.
Woo! Damn. We are so close to 400.
I know, right?
That's
We're going to have to do another
crazy.
big special thing.
Oh.
I'm very excited.
I'm going to kidnap Stamets. We're going to make him talk to us.
I love
No,
Anthony Rapp.
I'm not interested.
I am.
Oh, I meant the mushroom
I would
guy.
love to meet Anthony Rapp.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be cool. Either way is good.
Anyway, after 376 episodes, you know that this is Ames.
This is Caitlin.
This is Jake.
And this is Chris.
Today's episode is Vis Pacem para Bellum, which, as everyone knows, means what's the best way to get peas? With a knife. A new Chris
I was
laugh.
going to say, what was that?
A new one.
He sounded like a
76
misfiring engine just then. Like, you know when your car's running out of gas? That's a cartoon sound. Usually followed by that, like, sound.
Oh,
or
my.
whatever. I can't make sense.
That was unexpected.
So was that laugh.
New ones. It's amazing.
Listen, he's a man of many facets.
But before we launch into that, we do have an annual thing we have to do. Woo! So if you don't give a shit about us receiving presents from each other, jump to whatever the next timestamp is.
Oh, I thought you meant Jake's prostate exam.
Oh, God.
Oh, I did bring the gloves.
I'm going to open this present with dinosaurs on it first.
Oh, we're doing presents.
Yes,
Hell
it's
yeah.
probably January-ish when you listen to this, but
Yeah.
it is before Christmas for us.
And we actually planned ahead for a change, opening up the dinosaurs.
Rawr.
Oh, boy. Here it comes.
Chris wrapped that. Didn't he do a nice job?
He did a fine job.
Chris has come a long way with his rapping. Very proud.
Thank you.
And it is, I'm guessing, an action figure. It is a Picard in duty uniform
Duty.
with Type 2 phaser, mug, Starfleet monitor, and tricorder with holster.
All made in the same shittily formed blue plastic. Molded, that's the word I wanted.
Nice.
So, I want to explain.
Okay.
What we actually got you was this.
Okay.
And I was so excited when the person that I was buying it from gave it to me. I was like, oh, I really think my friend is gonna love this. We have this Star Trek podcast, it's great. And she was like, oh, you probably like this one too. So she threw Picard in as like a gimme. So that's your bonus present.
Oh, sweet. Bonus. Should I keep opening? Or does
Yeah,
someone else want to
no,
open
go.
first?
Why don't we
See the real
do it?
gift.
Okay, let's see what Picard came with as a bonus. And the other wrapping, which is, oh my god, yes! Look how beautiful this is!
Ooh.
It is a collector's series action figure of the big one. He's like a foot tall. Of Q in his judge garb.
Oh, he's
Looking
so judgmental.
fine.
And he could use that little Picard as like a butt plug, honestly. He's huge.
He's very big.
You don't have him, right?
I don't know.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I was
This
so
is
excited when I
splendid.
found him. And again, in box and everything, I was like, yes!
He's got a gavel. He's got what looks like a scepter. Oh, he's got like the end with the lion head of what we see on his chair. Take a look at this, Jake.
I think, I mean, if I completely respect if you want to keep it mint, but if you don't keep it mint and you decide that you want to open
That's
that up,
great.
I need to know what's under the robes.
Oh, no.
I need to know
Anatomically
if there's a
correct
bump,
Q.
if it just says Barbie. Like, you know how, did you ever, back in the old days, like, the original Ken doll had like a little bloop that was like suggestive of a pee-pee, like a little tiny bloop. But then, in later years, they just kind of had what looked like underwear that said Barbie, Barbie, Barbie all over it.
Ah.
So, I don't know. But anyway,
There's
you don't have to take him out of the box, but if you do, I just want a report on what's under his robe,
There's some,
if you feel comfortable.
there's a family story about how when my dad was a child and his sister received a gift from a family member or something of a baby doll, an anatomically correct
Oh,
baby
no.
doll.
It had a little
Oh,
penis?
wow.
It had a little pee-pee.
And a little ball
And
bag?
my grandfather immediately took it away and chopped it off.
Oh!
Damn. Wow.
Castrated
Circumcise
that
that thing.
thing.
I-
Oh, yeah, fully castrated. Oh, no.
And I thought, circumcisions were a little weird, but that's... Wow, really? It had to just be, like, hollow plastic under there, right? So did the doll just have a gaping hole in it after that?
In the 50s, so I don't know what... I mean, I guess...
Fill it with putty? I don't know.
It's just surprising
No,
to
it was
me.
stuffed with asbestos. It was fine.
It's surprising to me that that's even a product that is available.
Well, I think in the 50s, people were probably less like, oh no, someone might find out that children have penises. Like,
Maybe.
I feel like the horror about genitals is like a more modern thing, and we've worked through that to being obsessed with other people's genitals. Now it's like we don't want to not know about your genitals. We want to make sure your genitals match your presentation all the time. I mean, not me personally, but
Well, Trump's
yeah, I was gonna say
stormtroopers will be in every bathroom starting next year.
okay, and I just
This
like
year, I guess. if
I know
you're
this has
listening
nothing to do with
2025.
Star Trek, right? I know it doesn't, but I want you to leave this in anyway. Anybody who's listening to this, first of all, if you're fucking anti-trans, get fucked. Star Trek's not for you, and this show isn't for you. All of our fans leave. However, I don't know if that's true. However, the thing about the bathroom issue is that it's not like today, or even 10 years ago, before you could just use the bathroom you wanted to use, there was no force field that was like, you identify as a man, you can't sneak into this bathroom and be a creep. That's always been an option. So if you really think anything has really changed, you're a fucking idiot. There is no force field. There never has been. If there's a trans woman in the bathroom with you, she just wants to piss and get on her way before someone attacks her in the bathroom, probably. So fuck you. And now, back to our regularly scheduled Christmas program.
And now joyful Christmas gift opening.
Hark the herald angels sing.
Glory to the newborn king.
Hey, Jake, open yours.
Well, okay, yeah. All right, so I have this dinosaur wrapped dinosaur.
The dinosaurs are very cute.
Somewhat a little heavy. Ooh, what is it? Original series. What is it? Are they cards?
It's their metal collector's cards.
What?
Fancy.
Hold on, I want to open this.
And there's only, 300,000 of these made, so it's limited. I think it's actually literally like 3,000 or something, but which is still,
Is it individually numbered?
it might be, I don't know. I just
I
know
wanna
that
open
it's
it and see what
definitely
these look
limited.
like.
Yeah, do it. I've been wanting to. I was saying that when I bought it, I was almost sad that I got one that wasn't wrapped, or that was wrapped, because I was like, I want to know what they look like.
I'm gonna destroy the value of it.
I was like, maybe Jake will let us look at them.
Nope, he scrolls them away and hides them in his
Real
room.
metal, all metal.
Real metal, they're lead. That's
I mean,
a
that's
real
still-
metal. Yeah.
It's funny to
Real
say-
lead-plated brass.
It is funny to say real metal like there's fake metal.
It's not.
There's like, metal
But
painted
very,
plastic.
very metal.
The silver
Real-
box specifically contrasts metal and real.
Yeah, have we talked
So
about
real
that before?
real metal is an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
Part
is
metal,
numbered.
part real.
Oh,
This
it's got a number? How many
This
is it?
is 3,100,
It looks like it, yeah.
but it doesn't say how many it is of total.
It almost looks like it's 03 out of 00, the way it was written.
Oh!
Doesn't like
So
to
did
be
you
real.
just pull out Pavel for first?
I did.
Hell yeah.
And they're also individually wrapped in plastic, so you don't have to damage
Wow.
them.
It's fantastic.
You know they're metal.
It
How are
was
you gonna-
made by
how
a
are you gonna
little
hurt
old
the
lady
metal?
in Leningrad.
Let's see,
Ugh.
who do we got? Oh, we also got these.
Ensign Pavel
Oh,
Chekhov.
this one's bent.
Pavel
Oh,
Andreevich
hardcore.
Chekhov joined the crew of the USS Enterprise well into its 5-year mission. Chekhov served as the navigator of the starship as well as operating the library computer station under the tutelage of Mr. Spock. Chekhov was an only child, oh, that figures, though under the influence of an alien entity, he imagined a brother named Pyotr. Chekhov was of Russian descent and
Turnabout
fiercely
Mr.
proud of his heritage.
But not that wig. 'cause
So
oh
there's
boy.
episode cards and there's people cards.
Yeah, imagine using one of the wig pictures and doing
Right?
it dirty like
It
this.
looks
Yeah, so
awful
these are-
in that wig.
Every card is also individually plastic
I know,
wrapped.
it's funny. Yeah, so some of these
It's also
are...
kind of funny that it clearly has slots for you to slot them in, but it just kind of threw them
Well,
in
I
like
think they probably were slotted
Oh,
and it
travel
got like...
messed it up, you think?
Because this is...
Oh, sorry, I've
Yeah.
hogged the Pavel.
Oh yeah, they have a nice weight to
Yeah,
them,
well,
don't
if
they?
anybody wants to look through these, I'll leave them out.
Cute.
I'll look through them later so I'm not taking up more time.
Yeah, but first you have to see Pavel in the wig.
Oh yeah, it's
Pavel
beautiful.
Pavel Andreevich Chekhov.
Nice.
And the tin's really cute.
Yeah, it's a nice tin. You could use that for anything, really. I mean, oh shit, and there's actually a Space Seed one? Is there actually a con card in there? I mean, you feel like that must be. I mean,
Oh, this is from the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, I got a con card.
hell yeah.
Yay.
So this is a 30-year-old set now,
Ooh.
practically.
Is that right? Holy shit.
Very nearly.
Can I take a look at this?
2 more years. It'll be the 60th, so.
Yeah, but it sure doesn't say out of how many, huh? That's so funny.
Yeah.
Did you want to
Yeah.
see the certificate? Anyway, and now what's really... I was actually just telling Chris this story also. So,
Oh, it says on here limited to 12,000 sets.
Oh, okay.
Relatively low number then, too.
Yeah, well, considering how many people are apeshit about Star Trek, you know?
I mean the 3100 is.
Oh, yeah. So initially, I had set up to buy a version of this from someone on Marketplace, and I was like set to get it from them at like 8:30 in the morning, and I woke up and I messaged them like, hey, are we still good to meet? And they were like, yeah. And you know what I did? I fell back to sleep.
Oh.
So I get messages and they're like, we waited for half an hour and we had to go. I was like, I am so sorry. Please let me make this right. Like, I will come to you. I don't, whatever. Like, because we were meeting somewhere in the middle because they were going somewhere nearby. I felt so bad. And they were old people too. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm the fucking worst. And she was like, and I gave her my number. Like, if you can't reach me here, like, here's my number. Like, I'm really sorry. And she's like, maybe we can try again sometime. And I'm not calling anyone from Marketplace. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's fair. But then I found it online. And not only was it, like, I was able to get it online pretty, like, not so difficultly, but the version I found online, obviously, mint sealed.
Yeah.
The one that they had was a banged up piece of shit. So I was kind of glad that it was nice. So, I pissed off some old people, but I got you the goods.
Nice.
I do want to look at these. Do we want to have them open this next, or?
Well, I feel like these are probably all related. Whatever Jake.
Yeah,
got.
let's do Jake's array.
Okay. Well, then let's start with Chris.
Okay.
I kind of want to finish with Caitlin.
Okay.
I
We
like
shouldn't
the-
open them at once.
I like the paper.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the
nice
paper, it's
yeah.
It's like it doesn't. It's proper like paper. It doesn't have that weird unpleasant glossy
Trouble with
feel.
troubles
Like,
cards.
this is
There's
a,
a
It's just paper.
nice paper.
did give us some
I almost
damage
don't want to
as
rip
well.
it, which I know is a cliche to say, but it's like
Rip it. Just
it's like almost old fashioned. It's so nice.
Wow, Chris is 100 years old now. I don't want to wrap this. I don't want to rip this paper. It's so
Ooh,
nice.
it's a
I mean,
box.
it is
It's a
really nice, though.
fragile.
Fragile. That must be
be
Italian.
Nice.
Oh, there's your
This
boy.
is a bit of- All right, so I've got a frame. Oop. Corners. I'm purposely not looking yet.
I
Okay.
peeked. I already peeked.
We've got a. Oh my! Wait, what? Holy shit!
Oh boy. That was a moment and then a moment of realization. I don't know what's happened.
Well, because it was like, hey, it's a fun picture of Wayoon. The holy shit was it's a signed picture of Wayoon.
Yay!
Holy shit! Well, thank you.
Wow.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
This is going back in the box before I fuck it up somehow.
Alright, I think Aim should go next.
Oh, I should go next. Holy shit. Oh, if Caitlin's going last, hers is gonna blow mine, isn't it?
I don't know.
Now I'm trying to think because I'm like, okay, who would make the most sense? And then I think maybe it's going to be Neelix.
Your taping is terrible.
I just put that on there to prevent it from flapping open.
The
Yeah,
tape-
he clearly opened it to make sure it was okay.
Well, I
and he had
opened it to put the
Here,
photos
there we go.
in the frames. I bought the frames separately from the
Oh, I
photos.
see.
Oh, that's the trick. Because every time I get something that needs a frame, I always forget to buy a frame for it. So we have a frame in a box.
It's my
We're
friend.
gonna see
in a
who
box.
it is.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's Shran.
Yes, Marco Lamo as you
Yes.
with baseball.
Holding the goddamn ball.
Wow,
Yes.
signed by Marco Lamo. This is lovely, Jake.
Yay.
I love it.
Wait, that kind of looks like Jeffrey Combs' signature. Did you just get like a silver marker? Like,
Shit.
Oh.
They figured me out.
So good.
I mean, even
Thank
if
you,
that was
Jake.
the case, who gives a fuck? It's so cool.
I love the idea that Jeffrey Combs, if you bring him any Star Trek picture, will sign it and claim he played the characters.
Yes.
That's
Is
a
that
meme.
true?
No, I'm saying it'd be funny if
I
like.
thought.
This is possibly me.
It feels
No,
like-
I was suggesting that Jake had signed them all.
No,
not
I
that
know,
Jeffrey
but this-
Combs had signed them all.
No, I understood, but this made me had that thought, and I
don't
feel like
you
that's
just-
something he might do
I just
too
love
if
that
you
nasty
asked him.
bastard.
That neck.
What was I just watching that I was like, why is he so hot? I mean, I was watching Deep Space Nine, but do you remember which episode it was?
No, if I.
Oh,
went-
it was the Maquis.
Ah, yes.
I'm rewatching Deep Space Nine for the 10th time.
Shocking.
Yeah, I know. And that's the episode where I think he really comes out as being a hot son of a bitch because he's like, ship whatever, stand down. I'm not just a Cardassian, I'm Gul Dukat. And I was
Is
like,
this
whoa.
before or after Civil Defense with the lightning ball shooting
Oh,
behind
no,
it?
that's pretty good,
That's
too.
later.
That's later? Okay, you
yeah.
haven't gotten that one yet? Because
Not
that's
yet.
a hot scene.
That's a
The
great
Maquis
moment.
is the second season.
Okay, yes.
All right, what's yours?
I
Now
don't
I'm
know.
super anxious.
But I have like 2 or 3 guesses.
It's Wayun and Dukat.
But even if it's none of my guesses, I will love it. It doesn't matter. What was it? Oh my god. It's Majel
Oh!
They're not making more of those.
No.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Barrett. Thank you.
That's a great
Merry
choice,
Christmas.
Jay.
Which I haven't seen. Which Majel is it? Oh, it's
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 Loxana.
Loxana.
I
Looking beautiful.
cannot tell off the top of which appearance, but
Oh,
Oh,
this
she's all
is
for Clint.
awesome. I'm crying. This is great. Thank you.
Aw, that's a very good
Merry
one, Jay.
Christmas.
we should have ended with that. But there's still a gift left.
Oh no.
It's a very good gift.
Yeah, but I mean,
Oh man.
I almost feel like any episode beyond this is almost pointless.
I didn't even dare to think that it might have been this. First I was like, maybe Odo, and I was like, well, he's dead. That's probably not it. And maybe Nana. I don't know. And then I thought Neelix. Neelix was my big guess, but I never even saw Majel coming. I have to put her somewhere special.
The trash.
No, we love Majel here.
No, I do. I love oh. Thanks, Jake.
You're welcome.
I do feel
I'm
like,
all emotional.
just based on the lighting, I'm gonna guess it's one of her DS9 appearances,
Yeah, it could
which
be.
is the best I can do.
We do
You
have
could probably like you see this little bit of her costume. You
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
like reverse.
Could definitely,
Yeah, because
yeah.
we have that blog post where
We
we
do.
combined all her
that blog
images.
post where you really had to drag it out of me to finish doing it, but you grabbed all the pictures, didn't you?
Yeah, so all the pictures are on our Tumblr, so we can
No,
possibly
we can definitely find this out.
figure out
Oh
where
yeah,
this
I'm sure.
one goes.
Yeah,
Damn, thank you.
Okay, so do we want to do this one?
yeah.
One
That's
gift
This
left.
is for the both of us.
yeah. It's for the household.
Okay.
So
I
whichever
hope it's
you.
a hat for
Do you
Nomad.
want to open it? or-
No, you open it. I opened
It's
two
a hat
things
for
already.
Nomad, yeah.
Oh, it's
I opened
heavy as
3
shit.
things. You know,
Yeah,
I'm-
it's
I
also
am-
breakable, so
Oh my
You know.
god! Is it a giant glass Spock head?
yep.
I wish.
The next generation.
No, this is kind of a next gen heavy. I mean, I guess we also do POS,
Man,
I
Jake
realize the
destroys
box
wrapping paper.
is a little.
but it's okay. It's
Oh, maybe I should look. I can't tell what it is from.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh!
Ooh!
It's a dinnerware
It's a plate set.
What?
Oh, those are pretty too.
Yes.
Yes, it's a
They got,
TNG
L
cars.
Okay, I do have to open one then.
Yeah. Hey, see, the box unfortunately is a little wobbly.
Oh,
So
okay.
and there's a set of 4, so you know
I would say, see, don't try to lift the box.
it's good for entertaining.
Yes, I will.
Your
I will
nerd
be. I
friends.
will have to be very careful.
I will admit it's a lot bigger than like when I saw it and I just bought it, and I thought it was a couple of
This is
plates and a couple
awesome,
of cups,
guys.
and then it came and I was like, oh, it is.
It's a lot of things.
Oh, these are mugs. We got mugs. Hang on.
I was gonna say I got to give Chris all the credit on this because he was like, "Oh, and I picked them up a little something," and then I looked it up
And
and
then
I
you
was
bench
like,
pressed
I
it.
was like, I don't know what little something he thinks he got them, but I think he's gonna be surprised.
Beverage. It says.
Oh, that's
Ooh, I like
hilarious.
that.
They're shaped funny, like Star Trek.
Yeah, because this is specifically the L cars, right?
Yeah,
Display.
Well,
thing.
specific to the TNG color scheme
Right,
because
right.
the Voyager era ones were more like I want to say blue and green, whereas this is kind of a mix of orange and purple. Square because the future.
Yep,
Ooh.
future plates are square.
Love.
Oh, they're very
They're
pretty.
beautiful, and they look like. And I mean, I can tell the box is heavy, so I can tell these are good quality too.
Yes.
Like they're nice. You did good. You did good, Chris.
This one looks shaped like this now.
Chris like steals one of them.
No.
Like he's like, I thought it was only a set for 2-place settings, so
Oh, there's another box in here too. Here, hold that.
Because there's smaller plates and it looks like a square bowl.
yeah.
Yep.
That's the only thing.
That's future is either square or clear green plastic.
the only thing that is that what the symbols were made of.
Yes.
Okay, I was like,
And the cups in last
I was
week's
about to
episode. Oh, you
try to
weren't here.
make like a joke about the symbols, but then I was like, no, that's what he just did.
Yeah. Well, see, you weren't here for last week's episode where
I
they
know. I
they
had
have
horrible diarrhea again. What are the odds?
they had the clear green solo cups as opposed to
little,
red
little plates.
Small
salad
plates.
plate maybe.
Oh yeah,
Or-
these are nice. Bread plate,
Maybe?
appetizer plate.
Yeah, I don't know what the definition.
Try not to be a fat fuck plate, you know? Like, you're only trying to have a little small portion? I don't know. Only fancy people have more than one fucking plate at dinner. I don't know what it's for.
Yeah.
It also comes with shrimp
Imagine we're
forks,
also gonna
you
wanna
fancy
photograph
bastards.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
we should.
yeah.
Take everything.
We'll do that after
One
the
second.
episode.
Here's my
Post
only
it.
thing with the bowl, right? The round bowl, you can sip. I feel like with the square bowl, you'd have to, like, turn it to a corner.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
this
would go with
has to be a
corner.
salad bowl, basically. Like, it's not for liquids, I would imagine.
If you're a pussy. I'm just kidding.
See, I think salad bowls have to be more shallow, though.
Okay, yeah.
True.
Could be a good soup bowl. Be nice
Nuts.
for a bisque or a chowder.
Just a bunch of
That's
nuts.
a good point. Yeah, you could put it out for like nuts or those sand peas that Pell tries to sell to
Oh,
Cork.
yeah, the sand peas. That's a good episode.
Just rewatched that.
It's like, it's
episode.
what she saw recently.
Yeah, I've like been speeding through.
So there's one thing about the box, and this is like, I know we've talked about this before. Star Trek's like merchandising and marketing is so weird. So it's specifically a Next Generation set, but Star Trek is in the TOS font,
Oh yeah.
and then the Delta next to the picture of Picard is like invoking the Discovery Delta because it's got the weird slash.
I feel like that Star Trek logo is like the franchise.
Yeah, at the
Star Trek
moment,
logo.
it's very strange.
I also feel like that picture of Picard is weird.
They
Feels
tried
like he
to-
looks like porn
This
Picard in
is
that.
branding I've seen on other stuff. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I have some like plastic models that use the same kind of branding.
Yeah, it's
so.
what they've been using for the
I
last
just
few
feel-
years now. It's a
He
choice.
just looks so furrowed. He never looks this furrowed or this tanned in the show. Like he looks like he was in the Bahamas and he's really mad about it. To be honest,
His
Like,
eyebrows are thicker than they are in
It's
real
just
life.
really. I don't like the picture.
Again,
but,
it's a fine set, but they've got to work on their branding. It is all over the place.
Cool. Well,
This-
all right. Well, this is awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Dude,
This
Hey,
is
thanks,
amazing.
thank
this
you.
fucking rocks.
Yay.
Yeah, I will give you.
Yeah. Do we want
this.
to? Well, we can
Get
do
that
a
out of the
photo
way for
at
now.
the end, I guess.
Yes.
And this, so I don't play with it, because I will.
By play with it, he means steal it. Take
I mean,
this so I don't run
Hard
away
enough
with
for me to not like futz with my glass the whole episode. No, happy holidays all.
And to all a good night.
I'm like, I cannot. I can't get over it. Remember when we watched TNG and I was like, fucking Luoxana sucks! And now I'm like, I fucking love that bitch!
Well, in her first few appearances, she wasn't really a character. She was just an annoying mother. Then they actually made her a character, and she
Sexy
got good.
lamp annoying mother.
Mm.
Because she was also kind of hot and annoying about being hot too.
Yeah.
But then Half a Life happened. And
Mhm.
holy shit, it was all good from there.
God, that
Except for
episode.
fascination. I mean, she's fine in fascination, but Jesus Christ, fascination.
Which one is that?
That's when where her horniness is contagious.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That episode can take a leap.
That's a Deep Space Nine
It
one,
is.
right?
Yeah.
I did just get to watch the one where she and Odo are stuck in the elevator.
That's
That's like early. That's like season 1. I
think
kind of
that's
forgot
her-
how early it was.
First DS9
Yeah,
appearance,
it
right?
totally is. Yeah.
Well, there is
Anyway.
no smooth segue, so
Anyway,
Discovery!
For all of you who've jumped ahead to this part, we're on Vis Pacem Bellum, Discovery episode, doing the thing. I have a synopsis for everybody. We got 3 plots, so I'm going to take them one at a time, because I don't remember the order things happen in. So first, the Discovery tries to go save the USS Gagarin from Klingons, but alas, it's an ambush, and like 6 cloaked ships appear and destroy the Gagarin. Whoops. Lorca's new mission is to go find a way to detect cloaked ships, which we think we can do by harnessing the sound dealies on the planet Pavo. So we send Burnham, Tyler, and Saru down there, and they realize almost immediately that there's this wispy sentient life here on this planet, and they're blowing first contact protocols, and oh Jesus Christ, everything's going wrong. Saru is trying to learn to communicate with the Pavans, while Burnham and Tyler put their mouths on each other's mouths a lot. When egads! Saru emerges from the forest all, I bring you love. Yes, all my Simpsons references are getting crisp today, and I'm so
Yay.
happy.
I was just gonna say, what is that one? I don't get it, but
Oh, that's a good one. Mr. Burns and his medical treatments.
Yes.
oh, when he's high as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have seen that one.
He's bringing love! Kill him! And Saru starts getting really, like, brainwashy cult member on us, and he says, let's the 3 of us just live here in peace and harmony. Something I've never had for 1 second of my tortured life.
Poor Saru.
Jeez, Saru. Yikes. But Michael tries to subvert him to contact the Discovery until he finds her, and they beat the shit out of each other for a while. And then the Pavans show up, and Tyler bamfs in out of somewhere. And something happens that I forget and we'll talk about. But then Discovery shows up and beams them all back. Sorry, Saru, you don't get to be peaceful for any
No
moments of
happiness
your
for
life.
you, buddy.
Quickly, in the Klingon plot, L'Rell is interrogating Cornwell and suddenly decides that she wants to defect to the Federation because Kor is a fucking asshole Who can blame her? But whoopsie, she totally gets caught trying to get Cornwell to her ship, and she and Cornwell battle for a moment to save face in front of Cor, and she seemingly kills Cornwell, but it's unclear. And Cor is super not pleased, and there will be consequences, and we don't know what they are yet. Possibly assassinations, we don't know. And in the wee little Stamets plot that I wanted to include, just to make sure it's here, Tilly gets to see how absolutely fucking delusional Stamets gets whenever he uses the spore drive, and she confronts him about it. And he's afraid that he'll be taken off to a science lab if anyone learns about this. And
Probably right.
He'll be separated from Culber. Or if Culber tries to cover it up, Culber will lose his medical license. And Tilly's like, okay, I guess I'll keep this secret that certainly won't bite anyone in the ass later. Jesus Christ, Tilly. We wrap up the whole episode with the Pavans deciding to reach out to the Klingons and invite them over to talk with the Discovery. You know, the old put them in an elevator together trick. What could possibly go wrong? The end.
What could possibly go right?
So, I know he wasn't gonna, but when Saru is like, let me handle this first contact, and he takes his vest off, it's like, oh, he's going for the Chakotay route.
Chakotay.
So this episode, I completely fucking forgot.
Same.
Apparently you've forgotten a lot of Discovery, Chris. You say this every week.
Well, no, like, there's bits and pieces I'd forgotten. Like, there's fine points I don't remember. The broader strokes I remember. But, like, this whole episode, I was just like, what the fuck is this Crystal Tower bullshit? Like,
Really?
Like, that's what I mean. Like, even the broad strokes of this episode were gone. Like, I remember where we end up because of it, but this was just not there.
Yeah, I totally forgot about, like, Saru, like, kicking Michael's ass.
Yeah, I
And,
forgot
like,
about the weird wispy people.
Also, like, just from, like, a logistics standpoint, with those fucking shoes that he's running around in, you imagine trying to look convincingly like you're kicking someone's ass when you're walking in fucking Lady Gaga footwear?
Yeah, I've always assumed...
Gaga?
It's
Is it how you say it in Klingon?
It's a Batman reference, kind of. It's actually a Harley Quinn reference.
Specifically Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk
Jesus
says,
Christ.
Lady Gaga!
If it's not Simpsons references, it doesn't belong.
I know.
But,
especially because it's
Yeah,
Batman-centric.
I have no proof of it, but I've always assumed / hoped for Doug Jones' sake that they only make him wear those shoes when they're going to be in the shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, though, because they add a lot of height.
Yeah, but they could just have him wear, like, a
Yeah.
tall, regular shoe in the, like,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
close-ups.
Yeah, from what I understand, they did like 3 different takes of any time he's running, and I think they
Okay.
used his stunt double for a lot of it
Oh, okay.
because they had to, you know, some shots with the shoes, a lot of shots in just normal boots,
Yeah.
and then some other shots of like other footwear of some kind or close-ups or what have you. Because yeah, I don't know how how fast did they say he could go? They
80
said
kilometers
he can go
per
80
hour.
kilometers per hour. Hey Google, what's 80 kilometers per hour in miles per hour?
80 kilometers per hour is equivalent to 49.71 miles per hour.
Okay.
Holy
so it's like
shit,
50
that's fast
mph.
as fuck.
Yeah.
Which seems fucking impossible for the way he's built.
Well, I feel like that's like, even like cheetahs can only go like 40, and they're like the fastest things on Earth, aren't they?
And they're quadrupeds. Quadrupeds can go faster because they're built to run fast. Humans are not built to run fast.
More legs, more fast.
Weird gazelle feet.
Yeah, but
You
you
think
also
the feet-
feel
the
like
feet
he's
do
so
it?
tall that he would have like a lot of wind resistance. I mean,
But
he's
he'd
thin as shit, but...
Well, you know what he can do? He can... What's that? It's like an
The
anime
Naruto
thing.
run?
Yeah, where you like lean
Put it-
forward
yeah.
and it reduces your...
But we saw him running and didn't do that.
Well, but maybe he wasn't in full
But that might be
speed
why
mode.
he does that weird hand-waving thing behind him. Like, maybe that's causing some
It's
kind
creating
of,
like turbulence in the wind, in the air.
And in case anyone was wondering, I just checked. Usain Bolt tops out at about 28 miles per hour.
Holy fuck!
And that's
I
for
would
10
believe
second
that
bursts.
Saru is twice as fast as Usain Bolt.
Oh,
I
not in
fucking
those
don't.
shoes, my god.
But he has like hoofs.
Maybe he has hollow bones, and that makes him light like a bird.
Oh, there you go.
Well, then, when fucking Michael hit him with that fucking limb, he should have
point.
broken in half.
Yeah.
point.
Ostriches can run absurdly fast.
God, ostriches are horrifying.
The fastest,
Remember that is a Frank video that ended with
Mhm.
like ostriches fucking? That's the worst thing I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot.
I'm pretty sure the fastest bird is the roadrunner.
Meep meep. It's the power of the meep
Whilst
meep.
riding a train.
I like to imagine that, like, you're saying, like, his stunt double does it, but in this case, his stunt double is actually just, like, some kind of fashion model who's, like, used to running around in, like, really stupid shoes. It's like the normal stunt double comes in, jumps off a thing, falls on a thing, does the fight choreo, and they're like, all right, call in, I don't know, Tyra Banks. Not that Tyra Banks needs stunt double money, but they just get some little girl who's, like, statuesque in height. They put her in some stupid heels, and she's just like, wee!
These are the most comfortable shoes I've worn all week.
No shit. And they're like, okay, we want you to run as fast as you can over there. Pretend there's a full meal that you can eat. And she's like, wee! And she actually does top out at 50 miles an hour. And then they're like, psych, here's some ice chips, bitch.
Oh.
Yeah, the modeling world is terrible.
It is.
Anyway.
But yeah, as an episode that I had to, like...
You're having thoughts anew.
Yeah, and it's like, he goes kind of spore crazy, like that one TOS.
Oh, Stamets.
Sorry, no, I meant Saru.
Okay.
He's like...
Everyone's going, everyone's
true.
fucking, like, compromised this episode.
Yeah, he breathes in the planet and doesn't want to leave, like that episode that I meant to look up the title of, so I could say that.
This Side of Paradise.
Thank you! So yeah, he's all this side of paradise, but also angry. Well, actually, no, eventually Jim gets Spock, and that's how they defeat the spores,
Yeah, because
actually.
a strong emotion defeats
wipes
them.
it out.
Yeah, this whole A-plot on the planet is, it's very kind of TOS.
Yeah. They specifically wrote it because, like, I guess the producers were saying, guys, please do away missions ever. Not everything can be on the ship. We need something that's a little different.
But, like, I don't know, I just wasn't very interested in it, to be honest.
Really?
Well,
I liked Saru in it.
Well, because also, like, it's kind of, we start the episode and we're already on the away mission.
Right.
So
we start the episode with a battle.
Well, I know, but Burnham...
Oh, they're already gone?
Well, really, we start the episode with some fucking Klingon being
they were
spoken,
already on the planet for 18 hours when we joined them.
Okay, I missed it. They'd already been there.
Yeah, so, like, we don't even get the explanation of why they're there until they're, like, doing an expo dump on us.
Mm-hmm.
Through a Burnham log.
Yeah.
Fucking logs, man. There's got to be
So
a better way to deliver exposition.
That's a time-honored tradition.
It's such
now.
a stretch. It's clearly like, okay, we want them to have this away mission. We want to have this adventure with spore people, spore creatures that infect Saru and make him go crazy. But how do we fit this into the overall Klingon war plot? Okay, well, let's come up with this thin thing about a transmitter.
This sonar thing.
There's like there's some kind of way to detect the Klingon cloaking device.
Why they think this, I don't entirely know.
Exactly. Like, we don't get that. It's not like...
Well, because, of course, as we all know, sound-based science works great in the vacuum of, wait a minute.
and then, so then, okay, we have this kind of thin, like, setup for why we're on the away mission. And then they go and pull a, what's those bastards called? Organians. Yeah, they do a fucking Organians at the end, where it's like, oh, we'll bring everyone together and make friends.
Being fair, it's a little different because the Organians are just smug pricks who think they're better than everyone. These guys are just kind of well-meaning, like, oh, we can be space Switzerland. And I don't, again, genuinely, this isn't just because we're treating this, as this might be a new watch for some people. I really don't remember exactly what... I'm sure it doesn't go well, but that's the other thing is, of course, this is our first sort of, like, even though this is a serialized show, like, this is only our second sort of proper cliffhanger after the two-part intro. So, like, we don't exactly know where this is going as a viewer. There's actually, like, a to-be-continued moment.
I don't know where this is going as a viewer, and I've watched this before.
Yeah, I really, again, for some reason, this specific, like I said, finer points for other episodes were missing, but this is, like, this was gone, which I don't know what that says about the episode.
There's not a lot really happens. Like, I feel like you said 3 plots, and I was like, were there really 3 plots in this episode?
Yeah. The Stamets one is like a baby
there
plot.
was.
I mean, and I actually think that the Laurel Cornwell plot is perhaps the more interesting of the plots.
That's fascinating because all the reviewers I'm following don't like that plot as much.
Well, it's because we don't really know or care about Cornwell or Laurel.
It's because they're being really shady with with any Klingon shit.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they'll give away their game. Because I know, like, right now, this episode was originally meant to be the mid-season finale and then they take a little break. But CBS asked them to push it to the next one and I don't know really why. But also, this would be a lousy kind of place to leave your mid-season finale for a little while because it's like I'm not very teased.
It does explain why they made it kind of a to be continued moment, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not very teased, but I'm also like, there's a lot up in the air because there's like a battle coming because the sarcophagus ship is going to show up at Spore Planet.
Yeah.
And we also don't know, like, we don't really have a resolution with Laurel because she just got found out and is being presumably taken away to be chopped up like her friends.
Yeah. And remember that this is also, when this was first released, November of 2017, rumors were flying all over the place about where's Vogue? And I don't know how much we want to tease because we know where's Vogue, obviously, because we've seen the series before. But in case this is anyone's first watching
It's true, I do remember that particular point.
Like, all the theories were running amok, but it's so clear, like, the series can't tell you anything yet.
Well, I feel like
they have to keep spinning their Klingon wheels.
The implication was that Vogue was going away somewhere to be give up everything.
Well,
and that perhaps he was going to come back and save the day or something somehow.
Because of the various Simpsons references, all I can think is, whenever Vogue isn't on screen, people should be saying, "Where's Vogue?" And then it's just like, I must go now. I must go now. My planet needs me.
Yeah. So
what's that? The dog that shows up for a minute.
That Homer voices.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. The reason I say that the Laurel Cornwell plot was more interesting is not giving credit to that plot so much as it's saying how uninteresting I found the planet plot. And then, like, the stuff that's happening on Discovery, it's just the normal shit that's always happening on the ship.
Yeah.
Listen, we get to yell at Reese. That's something new. Oh, I think that's her first line. Or at least it's the first time I heard her talk or noticed her talking.
We got more hints about something being wrong with Stamets.
We knew this from the first moment we met the man.
Well, I know, but we knew he was an asshole, but now he's also maybe going crazy.
Yeah, Tilly, report this. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know how she thinks she's going to be in command ever if she doesn't make the right choice on this one.
Well, now she's Stamets calls her captain, so maybe that made her feel good.
Well, I assume that's more of like I can't remember, again, this isn't me spoiling anything for anyone who hasn't caught up, but I assume we're going to get a scene later where Lorca's there, and what are you doing? He's like, oh, I was seeing through time, because I assume that's what it is with him, because of last week.
There's definitely something going on.
You mean Stamets?
Yeah.
There's something that's happening to him for sure when he goes into the spore machine, and it's fucking with his mind.
Deeply. But also, like, what he's got to realize is, like, Paul, don't worry. You're the key to their secret weapon. They're not going to put you in a lab till the war's over.
That's what I thought.
Then they'll put you in a lab and poke the fuck out of you. Don't get me wrong.
And you'll deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
The thing is, I mean, Starfleet already, well, at least the admirals already know he's done what he's done, as we know from when, Lorca got fired on the honor system.
Wait, they know that they're using Stamets to power the spore drive?
Yeah, because Cornwell calls him on it in the episode.
Oh, I missed that. I thought they were just yelling at him about letting Michael save Sarek.
Yeah, no, in her more recent one where they banged, she was like, oh, he's done eugenics experiments on himself. So, I mean, the Admiralty knows, at least. Maybe they're keeping it under their
I don't know.
Admiral hats.
I don't know that I feel like she's, like, really reporting back very much. Because I feel like she doesn't want to be like, well, I slept with Lorca, and now everything's going to be fine.
Well, yeah, but I think that was, before they fucked.
Oh.
So, yeah, no, but I think the Admiralty knows.
Yeah.
The Admiralty.
And, Cornwell definitely knows.
Yeah.
But she's captured.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? So, not Takuvma, the new captain of the ship.
Kor of House Kor.
Kor.
Yeah, I think you might have actually called him Kor a couple times, and I was like, wait, is it Kor or is it Cole?
Oh, didn't I ship?
I'm not sure.
Well, Cole has captured Cornwell for some time now and has apparently been interrogating her to no effect. So Laurel shows up and is like, hey, I'm a great interrogator. Even though I'm pretty sure she failed at interrogating Lorca too, so...
I mean, she did interrogate him.
Yeah, but she tortured him. I don't know if he told her anything of value.
But then he got away.
Yeah, if she being more time, she maybe would have broken him. Maybe.
She brings in her tools.
She broke Tyler and Mud.
And then she doesn't interrogate Cornwell. And the reason is because she wants to escape with Cornwell,
Mm-hmm.
She claims
Yeah.
to want to defect.
but that's not real.
You think?
I don't think she really wants to. She started this whole thing. She's like one of the orchestra.
No, Takuma started this whole thing, and now Cole is doing it wrong.
Yeah, oh, I know. She wants. I think she wants to get rid of Cole so that she can take over and be, or maybe that's where Vogue will come back.
Yeah, because she has claimed she doesn't want to be in charge.
Yeah, but Vogue might.
If I may quote one of the greatest films of our age, or paraphrase, I don't care if Starfleet wins, I just need Cole to lose.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But yeah, I think we as that thing is we have to remember that Cornwell doesn't have a lot of the information we have.
Yeah.
We know about Laurel's dealings with Vogue and all that, and that there's some sort of plan there. We know she's from, like, the House of Deception. So, like, I think we as the audience recognize, like, yeah, she's probably, this is part of some larger
there's
plan.
something else going on.
And a lot of it is like, yeah, she'd probably like to help Starfleet enough to get rid of Cole and then go right back to whatever her plan really is.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for Cornwell to not necessarily believe this woman she's just met and doesn't know, to be like, because we know the Klingons were not united for the past century-ish. So, like, if one comes and says, I think this guy's an asshole, she's in a position to go, like, seems plausible.
Plus, she's been being tortured for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Her mind is mush.
Still a better therapist than Troy right now.
Yikes.
And then the other piece to this, right, is we have both sides now have a secret weapon that is allowing them to kick the other side's ass.
Yeah.
So
Klingons have cloak.
Klingons have cloak, and the Federation has spore drive, and those are. But the difference is the cloak is on every Klingon ship,
Yes.
and the
Right.
spore drive is on one ship.
And the spore drive just lets you get places. They're still not militaristically any better.
Right. Yeah, but you can zap yourself behind enemy lines and do surprise attacks. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah. If there was more than one, they would have won yesterday.
Right. And the Federation... Okay, well, I should say, the Klingons seem to be at least somewhat trying to get their hands on the spore drive technology. I mean, they had Mudd working for them. I would, is that what they were going to interrogate Cornwell about, you think? The spore drive?
Yeah, because Laurel does say she thinks she's from Discovery.
I see what shuttle you came in on.
Yeah.
That's a Discovery shuttle.
Yeah, so, like, she knows at least she's aware of it.
I mean, honestly, they don't even need the spore drive technology. They just need the Federation not to have the spore drive technology.
Yeah, which is why I think they did
That's
that
a good point.
ambush of, like, 6 cloaked ships.
Yeah.
Like, they were treating the Gagarin as bait for sure.
Oh, yeah, I think they were treating all the ships as... I think all these, like, little attacks that they're doing are just trying to bait the Discovery into showing up. But here's the thing. They don't even need to destroy the Discovery. They just need to kill or capture Stamets. They don't know that yet.
Right.
But if
Mudd
they,
knows
But
that.
if they yeah, exactly.
Oh,
if they
yeah,
find
shit.
out,
But
then
Mudd is with Stella
all they need to do is, like, have someone infiltrate or, somehow
Yeah.
isolate Stamets and kill him. And I feel like, considering how important he is, Stamets needs, like, 24/7 armed guards.
That is true.
Because if anything happens to him, they fucked.
24/7 armed guards? Where are they going to find that many people with 7 arms?
I like it. That's good.
Eric's people are...
Oh,
no! They come in different varieties.
How many
But they
arms
all
does a
laugh like
Tholian
that.
have?
What about Bem? How many arms did Bem have?
As many as he could stick to himself.
Hey, Bemmed over.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's right.
First contact with his species hasn't happened yet.
As far as we
shame.
can tell,
Sorry, Jake.
as far as we can tell, I don't know that at least the Discovery isn't. Maybe there's somebody else working on it, but the Federation doesn't seem all that concerned about getting their hands on cloak technology.
Yeah, you think they'd be...
I think that would be like
Starfleet doesn't sneak around.
but that would be a better... Lorca certainly
about
would
this.
take it.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I'm surprised there isn't an episode of Lorca being like, okay, we're going to zap ourselves behind enemy lines. Like in that episode of...
The Enterprise incident?
Well, there's the Enterprise incident, but I was even thinking, like, in Deep Space Nine when they capture the Jem'Hadar ship that has the Breen weapon on it.
Mm.
It changes everything.
And it changes everything.
Or that Enterprise where they steal a cloaking Suliban spheroid.
Yeah. So like, why aren't we like doing a secret mission? Like, why are we bothering getting this sonar system when we could be better spent getting a cloaking device?
Yeah, and we don't have any fucking idiot treaty with the Romulans saying we can't use it.
And apparently, it's not even all that hard. Like, you could be like, okay, well, originally they only had the one ship, the sarcophagus, that could do it, and you could go and say, like, okay, well, they got this one ship. Maybe they didn't invent it. Maybe they bought it or found it, but they didn't know how to replicate it, so that's why it's only on the one ship. Well, now they're just installing them on every... Even these little rinky-dink ships have it. So
all the ships are cute. I do like all the Klingon ships.
They're great.
It's apparently not that difficult to reproduce once you have the technology, so...
But then if the Federation were to get cloaking technology... The Klingons still have it. You just end up with cloaked ships everywhere, and no one can get anything done.
And thus, harmony is reached.
Yeah, the war technically never ends, but no one's shooting each other either.
Yeah, and I guess...
No, they're shooting homeworlds, because those can't cloak.
The advantage of...
That's actually worse, when you think of it.
Like, the advantage that the Federation has by having the spore drive is somewhat neutralized by cloak, because... You know, the spore drive, the big thing is, you could warp yourself behind enemy lines, but you could just as easily just fly yourself behind enemy lines. So I guess it is important for them to find a countermeasure for the cloak.
Yeah. But yeah, also I think part of it is, if the history of this series has proven anything, Starfleet intelligence is fucking incompetent, and I'm sure they have launched many missions already to try and get cloaking technology and fucked up every single one because they don't seem to have agents. They just seem to recruit starship personnel who don't have the requisite training in covert operations and then act surprised when it goes wrong.
I don't know, that seems like a great plan.
Well, yeah, no, this is true.
I mean, for that matter, okay, so we don't have the training to do that. We leave Burnham and Saru and Tyler in a first contact situation, and I don't think they're qualified to be the ones to do
we
that.
didn't know it was a first contact.
But they figure it out the moment they get there that there's wispy people.
Oh, yeah. But they assumed the planet was uninhabited, which I don't know why they would assume that, considering there's a fucking giant transmitter.
Yeah, transmitting music into space.
That was a natural transmitter.
Well, I guess I sort of wondered if, I guess even if it wasn't Starfleet, someone might have just shown up and put it there. Like somebody, it might, I don't think the Pavans put it there.
No, they did.
Yeah,
they did?
Yeah, they grew it.
How the hell did they do that?
They probably, they helped nudge the crystal in the direction
They got no hands. They got no hands.
They're magic cloud people.
Speaking of which, so after they make contact with the Pavans, they set up the Starfleet crew in a little hut.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck do the Pavans need with a little hut?
Yeah, I was wondering
Why do they have a little hut?
I thought they were keeping something in there. I thought there was a bowl of crystals or something.
Well,
Maybe they don't want them to get wet.
The impression I was under was that was kind of like a fireplace. Because it sort of glowed red and they sat near it, so I thought it was
Is that their guest room? Do they get a lot of people coming through?
No, they don't. That's why they have a... Hey, is there anyone else in space beacon?
You know what it is? They set that up so that if anyone ever did show... They were so excited. They have had that tent for years, and they finally get to use it.
They were 100 years ago, there was some Pav, and it's like, all right, we're not doing so hot. I'm going to reinvigorate our tourism industry. We're going to build some huts. We're going to put up a big beacon to let people know that we have, the best prime rib in the quadrant.
Who's going to design the logo for the website?
You know what it is, too? Part of the reason the Pavans waited so long to actually contact, because like you said, they'd already been on the planet for 18 hours, was because, as with any unused room, it was full of stuff. And they're like, hey guys, you know that tent we've been using to, keep the things we don't quite want to throw out yet? Yeah? Well, there's people here. Oh, fuck. Get it out of there. Get it out of there. We're going to put it out crotch of a tree. I don't know. Fuck.
Everyone quick, clean copiously.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. That's why they had to wait. Shit, company, finally.
Get rid of those embarrassing things. What kind of embarrassing things would Pavans have,
There was a really annoying line that just hit me the wrong way, where they're walking through the forest before they even make contact, and the folks are walking through the forest, and Burnham says, man, it really sucks that we couldn't beam down because of the
interference
thing. And it's like, yeah, the three of you probably already agree on that point. You didn't need to say it out loud. That was purely for my benefit because you know because the writers know that a Star Trek viewer is like, why are they trudging through the forest when they could have just beamed right to the site?
Well, that's the thing.
So
Is
they
like,
have
but
to
the
say
Star
that.
Trek viewer will also know that the reason is because there was interference. Because there's
And-
always interference.
Well, it's always interference. And here's the thing, and this is why it annoys me so much that we start this in Tabula Rasa, because if they had set this up with them on the ship
Yeah.
and being like, okay,
In the
well,
transporter
beam us
room,
down
saying,
to the. Oh, there's some kind of strange interference. Like the closest I can get you is an 18-hour walk.
I cannot do it, Captain.
Or because like here's the thing, the fact that they said that in the here's how the conversation should have gone. Man, it sure sucks that we couldn't have beamed down closer to the thing because of that interference. Yeah, and it also sucks that we couldn't have taken a shuttle because of the wind shear. You know, it's like because that's as a viewer, because they shown a spotlight on it. Like if they were just walking through the woods, I wouldn't have asked the question. But because they brought it up, I'm like, why didn't they take a shuttle then?
So my thing, I didn't think of the shuttle, admittedly, at all. Because I think at this point, Star Trek has just made me used to the fact that shuttles are only used when the story needs a shuttle, not when it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was actually sitting there thinking, why did these assholes land or beam down so far from the... Oh, okay. But again, they definitely could have introduced the concept in a more organic fashion than they did. Because I was that Star Trek viewer going like, why are you so far away? But again, I did not think, shuttle?
Yeah, well, and it's because we didn't get the scene on the ship when
Yeah.
they decided to beam down.
Could they have beamed them down with a dune buggy so they could get there
That's
fast?
true. Take the Argo.
Or like rollerblades.
I'm going to go out on a limb. And vaguely related to our multi-part series we did not long ago, I bet this could have been a one-parter.
This episode is a one.
No, it's to be continued.
Oh, that would be continued.
We'll decide next week. Like,
I think I was really surprised by the to be continued thing because I was like, is this episode already over? Like, I really felt like nothing really substantial happened aside from Saru kicking Michael's ass.
That's
which
what I
I was
mean.
like, Jesus Christ.
I feel like, I bet they stretched what should have been one episode into two.
I did like the end, though, when Michael's like, oh, it's okay, Saru, like, you kicked my ass, but, like, you weren't yourself. And he's like, oh, no, I was. I was
hate
really
you.
fucking mad. When I said you take everything from me, I meant every syllable, you fucking bitch. And she's just like, oh, my God, it's highly illogical.
But I do like that it was sort of, you know, I don't know, like, it's interesting for his character. The whole thing was like, it wasn't so much that he was high on spores as it
He
was...
was high on not being afraid.
Yeah, which must, you know, if you've been afraid your whole life, must feel fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, I mean, as someone with anxiety that will spike and spiral out of nowhere, I get it. But I don't live in that all the time, thank God. Because I would lose my fucking mind. Like, I don't know how Saru does it.
Yeah, well, and to top it off, like, the noise was an extra layer of assault on an already fragile...
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, I feel like... But you know how that is. Like, when you can hear something, like, just loud enough that it's... like, just quiet enough that it's, like, niggling at your ear. Like, you can hear it and you can't stop hearing it. But it's not loud enough that you can just, like, incorporate it in and try to sleep. It's gotta be like that.
Yeah, for a species who is just always weighed down with fear, joining Starfleet was a choice.
Yeah.
Go to Ryza. Nothing to fear there until Worf shows up.
Jackass.
Yeah.
Burnham brings up something that I hadn't remembered for a little while, and that's when she's chatting with Tyler, you know, with her mouth on his face, saying, oh yeah, you, after all this, you know, you get to go sailing and catching trout and whatever it is you like doing. I get to go back to prison.
Yeah, she goes to
To
prison.
Prison.
Oh, sounded like you said prism.
I have more teeth in my mouth.
Oh, that's all the extra teeth, of course.
She goes to prison. Stamets goes to a
Like that
lab.
you say that like she's just making excuses like, oh yeah, sure, the teeth. Like, poor Ames. Ames has so many teeth.
Prism. Yeah.
And then she makes this whole allusion to twalk, and you're like, forced. Or she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
but, you know, it's all about the good of the many versus the good of the me. And he's like, okay, thanks, Burnham.
I actually-
We get it.
He's like, yeah, I've seen that movie.
Shut
also.
up.
I literally kind of stopped paying attention during that conversation.
Oh my
Whoa.
God.
Like, I actually was just like, oh, God.
Michael's talking.
Well, it was specifically when you said the needs of the men, they started going back. It's like, okay, like you said, it was like, all right, yes, cute little reference. I get, oh my God. I'll be back when the story continues. Kind of like Homer's brain floats away in the Cider episode.
Okay, so who's higher in these episodes, Saru or Stamets?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they.
I think it's Stamets, because, like we said, Saru isn't necessarily high. He's just free.
But he might be getting his first real hit of endorphins in his life. So
For some reason, I really thought you were going to say something about having a boner, and I was
No.
like, I was braced and I was unhappy. I was like, no, here he goes. He's going to say, but you're right. I would say that.
that was the really weird thing. Is this was another thing that was strange to me. It's not a great episode.
No.
I think it's the first one. Probably I was just like, why is it? Like, I've liked pretty much everything up to this point, more or less. I mean, minor nitpicks here and
Yeah.
there, but as an episode, I'm just kind of like, Tyler has to distract Saru, but kind of fucks up because he clearly ends up getting into a real conversation, and it's like, ooh, Ash, buddy, not the time for this. You need to be focused on the goal of keeping this man distracted. Don't touch the psychic crystal. Okay.
To be fair, though, like, having a real conversation will make it that much more believable, I feel like.
True, but he clearly ended up losing the plot because of it.
Yeah.
But I guess you can't blame the guy's traumatized.
Psychic crystal did look fun to touch.
It
I thought
did.
it was like Jello, and I was like,
So
maybe
did
it was
I.
going to wobble.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, last notes I had on this were they shot all the exterior scenes at a couple of different conservation areas in Ontario.
Oh.
At a terrible time of year for this because it was terribly rainy and humid and full of mosquitoes.
Oh, no.
So firstly,
It's
we
the
have
Canadian rainforest.
firstly you have Doug Jones under all this makeup sweating profusely.
Oh.
But then you have everyone else jealous of that Saru's under all these prosthetics because that means he's not getting bitten by bugs.
Wow. So he's sweating to death, but not being bitten. I think
Yeah,
I would
which
rather
is worse.
sweat than be bitten. No, I think I would prefer. I don't like bug bites.
Yeah, but swamp ass.
Yeah, but swamp ass isn't going to itch after I wash it. You know what I mean? It might itch while it's happening a little bit, but once it's over, and you can't get triple E or whatever the fuck from swamp ass. Unless you have mosquitoes growing
Could
in your
be.
swamp
I mean,
ass.
that's where
Oh,
mosquitoes
dear.
come from.
They come from swamps. Oh God!
Yeah.
One thing I always wonder when I look at him is how fucking hard it must be to breathe in that makeup.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't get fucking use of his nostrils.
Was there, I always wonder, like, did they maybe attach some kind of tube from his real nostrils to the fake ones on the right side of his face? Like,
Oh, that's fascinating.
because I figure, like, maybe if he was like a one-off character, they wouldn't bother. But when you've got a regular like this,
Yeah, who's in the makeup whenever he's called for
Yeah,
the
like-
whole day.
did they maybe design a way that he could breathe better?
I wonder.
Because he does seem to have his mouth closed a fair bit. Like his actual mouth, which you can kind of see, like they integrated it, but like,
As opposed to his other mouth?
well, you kind of see like his human lips as part, because he's got the Kelpian like double mouth thing going on. It's kind of weird. So like, I imagine either that fucker's holding his breath a lot, or they rigged up a way for him to breathe through his nose in that prosthetic.
That's interesting.
Dave
I
Jones
Doug Jones.
Davy Jones, right. Doug Jones is actually a mythical creature that actually has weird hooves and
Sounds
doesn't
right.
need to breathe.
He breathes through his ears.
That seems right.
Yeah. So I did kind of wonder, like, one thing I thought was kind of interesting was, I assume, but I don't know, like, unless these plants were naturally like that, you did say it's preserved, so maybe. But if not, they must have done a lot of work on the color correction, because I noticed a lot of the leaves had this interesting sort of bluish hue, which I assume would come through, like, manipulating the color a little. But, of course, then the actors still had to look like themselves. So, but again, maybe it was some sort of very unique bluish plant. Because I was struck by the color of the
I
plants.
bet you they could very easily, in post, just change the color of the plants.
Yeah, but I can't imagine, you must have to still isolate. It must be a little more niddly than just being able to just do a wash.
Grab everything that's green on your screen and tint it.
Is it that easy now? God,
Yes.
the future is sometimes not dumb. It's mostly dumb.
Well, plus I think seeing blue doesn't occur naturally very much. Like,
True.
you've got blueberries, and even they're sort of more, well, they're blue. They're really blue. But I can't think of many other things that occur naturally as blue. So it's...
The sky.
Well, yeah. But is it blue because it reflects the ocean? Or is the ocean blue because it reflects the sky?
I thought it was blue because certain wavelengths of the sun hit it a certain way.
Probably.
I think it's that.
That's fine. I have no idea.
Neither do I.
Yeah, so all episode long, I'm thinking, Burnham, mind meld with the Wisps. You're basically a Vulcan. And you know who else I yell, hey, you should mind meld these things all the fucking time? Fucking T'Pol.
Well, she wasn't
It's
technically
illegal,
supposed to
Ames.
for her.
Jeez.
What?
Remember she...
Oh, no, I was thinking Michael neck pinch Saru.
There we go.
Like I'm always saying, T'Pol neck
Yes,
pinch so-and-so.
That is true.
Which she almost never does.
T'Pol. I should do some moments for her.
Yeah, so today is our T'Pol Day in our Character Spotlight series, which you're all following on the Tumblr, obviously. So we're going to talk about some great T'Pol moments and some maybe less great T'Pol moments.
They're all great.
Yeah, I generally ended up enjoying T'Pol an awful lot.
I think it's good, and I think
she was a highlight in Enterprise, and otherwise Drek series.
A lot of the criticism, I feel like, is, at least in the early seasons, is more Jolene Blaylock criticism.
And I think she was nowhere near as bad as people like to claim.
No, and I think...
She was a little stiff.
Yeah, she's definitely stiff.
Even for a Vulcan.
And I think, and she certainly gets a lot better later in the series. So, overall, one of the better characters on that show, for sure. Do you want me to say how much better?
Sure.
By citing specific examples?
Yes.
So we want to start with the goods?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say, this is kind of duplicating one from last week when we talked about Archer, but I'm going to say just sticking around and taking care of Archer for many years after he was grievously injured in Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
And the patience to have to explain to him every single day what is going on. So yeah, I give T'Pol a lot of props for that.
Mm-hmm.
This one might be controversial, but I'm going to say marrying Dorkface to save her mom. Because initially I actually put that on my bad list.
I did the same.
I had that on my bad list, and then I thought of something better for my bad list. And then the more I thought, I was like, but she's kind of taking one for the team there. Because it wasn't like she did that out of spite or to be a bitch. She did it because her mom was in trouble, and she had compassion.
Because she was blackmailed into it.
She was blackmailed into it, but she took one for the team and helped mom, and and honestly, and in the end, it actually saved everyone because it was him. Don't forget that we used to defeat Admiral Layton.
That dick.
So I came full 180 on that because it was on my bad list and it made it to my good list the more I thought of it. And I know how much you hate general moments, but so I will give you a specific moment, but know that this is sort of encompassing of her the eventual state of her relationship with Trip, because it starts out a little iffy. I'm not gonna lie, but I
rub each other a lot.
But I feel like where it gets to, particularly in the final moments of Terra Prime, after the baby is dead, and Trip and T'Pol have that kind of, I think, a really beautiful moment in her quarters. That's the moment, by the way. I think that they actually do. They have one of the better on-screen Star Trek relationships.
Yeah,
because a lot of them,
they're great. Yeah.
A lot of them are not good. A lot of the Star Trek relationships that we get, the chemistry isn't there sometimes.
Bareil.
Yeah,
fucking Kira.
Yeah, like anybody in
Shakar
Kira. Honestly,
and Kira.
I don't even like Odo and Kira.
It's it's one of those things. It was so much better in my mind how it would be. The will they was so good. The what do you call that when you're waiting for something to happen? The anticipation. The anticipation was great. But then when it really happens, it's like, oh, I don't get to watch them bang with him in weird shapes. This is not as interesting as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And also the way they first kiss and shit. Well, maybe I should just kiss you if you don't want me to take you to dinner. Well, why don't you? It's so stupid anyway. This is not about
not to say there aren't some good parts of that relationship. I just think overall, I think the relationships like this work better when the this is like stating the absolute obvious. It's best when the characters complement each other in a way that the relationship improves both characters.
Yeah, and that's why Caitlin, I think, likes Troy Worf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
because that's interesting.
Yeah, because that's interesting.
I don't care for Troy Worf, but that's me.
To Paul and Trip, that's interesting. I even think Worf and Jadzia
wicked interesting.
is really interesting.
That's a good one.
Because again, you're taking this character, Worf, who's like a real stick-in-the-mud scumbag, not scumbag.
By the book Catholic
Klingon. Yeah, exactly. He's just kind of like a jerky guy. And then you have Jadzia, who's like this strong, independent woman, and they complement each other in a really good way. But like Kira and Odo are both perfect characters to start with. They don't need anything, and they're not getting anything from each other.
Being fair, I mean, it didn't work out this way, really. He's a bit of a fascist, and she was, a freedom fighter.
She was Antifa.
Yeah, in that regard.
Yeah, okay, there's that.
But again, the show doesn't really play with that as much as they totally could have.
There is like moments, but it's even. I think the moments where that is an issue.
It's before they're
in a relationship. Yeah. Like when
it doesn't come up much later on.
When he finds out that she was the one that
the murderer
that murdered.
Just watch that episode.
Murdered the apothecary or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know if I can ever look at you the same again. You could have told me. Brr. Fucking. There it is.
Anyway,
good moments, Jake.
Who's next?
Me.
Go for it.
First of all, standing up for herself when Mind Meld guy started getting too pushy and was like, get the fuck out of here. I thought that was good. Mm-hmm. I thought then standing up for people with...
Go way slower, Caitlin.
No! And also, too, I know I wasn't here last week, but I think, did you report that was my, one good Archer moment that I could remember? Was that, he was cool when she was like, this fucking guy is trying to mind fuck me, and he was like, get the fuck out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So... That's good. The second thing is when she has I almost said Canar syndrome. What is it called?
Panar.
Why does everything sound the fucking same in this show?
They run out of words.
Canar, Kashar,
you can only put so many apostrophes into things.
Ha!
Well, anyway,
I'll show you. You can have a character that's 7 apostrophes and a Q.
Sharp, Chris. Down.
She's got the equivalent of, Vulcan AIDS. And not only is she like, I'm going to get treatment and I'm going to fucking tell you why this is some bullshit. And then she fights against it, and I like that because it's just gross bigotry.
Is that in Stigma?
Yeah.
And I don't actually have a third serious one, so I'm just going to say, that ass, Stinky.
Oh, God, we're going to have to read at some point.
Oh, though, honestly, though, and I also don't have, a real moment about the Trip thing, but, I agree that, the relationship with Trip is, one of my favorite things. Just in general. I know that's not a moment. I know you don't like that.
That's fine. You already gave me 3 things.
That's true. That ass.
And I'm not including that ass. So.
Oh, what was the other third thing?
I have spares. Is the other
You're
thing.
getting,
okay.
You're getting a spare. We are going to have to eventually do Mayweather.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, it's not going to be trouble. It's not about finding 3 good and 3 bad. It's just about finding 6 moments.
Yeah.
Period.
I think that should be
I thought it was really cool when he was hanging out in Zero Grav.
Save it for a couple weeks from now.
Guns.
I think for that week it'll just be find any moments that you remember about poor Travis.
I already have. Where's my Travis list?
He was
13 best moments and 9 worst moments.
You're lying.
Well, yeah, but I bet you they're all weak.
Yeah, they're
they definitely are.
Mayweather sat in the captain's chair that one time. Good going, buddy.
That's a bad moment, for fuck's sake.
Right. Well, I'll go. So I've got a moment that represents a thing that comes up a lot, but I do have a specific one. He almost never listens, but she often has to try to be a voice of reason with that jackass Archer. Mm-hmm. And one of the few times he listens is in Breaking the Ice, where he's like, no, I'm going to save my men on my own. We don't need Vulcan help. And she's like, you fucking need Vulcan help. And he finally goes, fine. So in E squared, E2, I think it's E squared.
E squared.
She tells herself about the fact that there's actually a potential huge flaw in Lorien's plan that he was keeping to himself.
Cool.
And I also had caring for Archer in the alternate timeline in Twilight.
Nice.
Yeah. Good one.
You guys are naming a lot of... The only thing I have overlap with on my list of 13 things is the moment in Twilight.
Mm.
Although I think that ass is kind of encapsulated in a lot of moments. I have many other T'Pol moments. Let's go at the top of the list that hasn't been mentioned yet. This one is summed up in her line, "The Vulcan Science Directorate has determined that time travel is not fair."
That's a good line.
That is when she is standing up to Suliban torture in Shockwave. And
I loved that line.
Good for her. Like that for her.
Good for her. That gif of Mallory Archer and fucking Arrested Development. Anytime I want to respond with Lucille.
Yes.
Anytime I want to respond with a GIF, I really want to do it like Lucille, her hands clapping towards her. You know, like it's a very. I'm just saying we need to work it in.
Was an amazing actress.
Mm-hmm.
Other T'Pol things: figuring out the crew's obsessive behaviors in Singularity and saving the day.
Yeah.
You know, it's because Vulcans are never affected by things, but you know what, T'Pol, you figured it out and you went with it. And another one where T'Pol is not as affected by a thing and gets to save the day is in Strange New World, where everybody else got affected by, like, pollen or some shit, and Trip was extra racist, and she fooled them into not killing her. So, good job, T'Pol, you did.
But she was also affected.
But barely. But she was
not
able
as
to...
much, not like the
surround
others.
it.
There's actually, on her Memory Alpha article, she has a whole subsection just about the times her Vulcan immune system kept her from being affected as badly as everyone else.
I mean, I'm sure Spock could have the same thing.
He could.
Because,
And he very well may, but it is funny that they do actually have a whole separate section for it.
It's because the writers of Enterprise were hacks, and really that's the only thing they had.
And I think one of my spares that's going to get swapped in where you guys overlapped is going to be when she teaches meditation to Hoshi in Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the rare Hoshi T'Pol scenes we get, which I thought was excellent.
And it passes the Bechdel test. Oh, damn it! I have a better joke answer.
Tell me!
Her obvious dislike of Phlox.
No, but they're like buddies most of the time.
Bonded.
Fuck! That was what I was going to put on my
Jesus
list.
Christ.
Sorry. That is an honorable mention, though. The time she tells him to shut the fuck up during the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, see? But
That's
I feel
making
like
the
she
list.
doesn't like it in the beginning when he's just like, oh, I'm going to eat your
No,
celery.
yeah, but they eventually end up like bonding over being like
Eventually,
the only two non-humans.
she gives into Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is, in the beginning, she has the fucking, presence of mind and clarity of mind to be like, wow, this guy is a creep.
Yeah.
But not all good for T'Pol.
Yeah, way too often she is just there to be tits and ass.
She's good at it, though.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, she looks great.
I'm gonna avoid any. Maybe y'all. I won't mention it. So maybe since some of y'all may have brought
You're
it
not
up.
going to mention any tits and ass? Is that what you're saying?
Well, this sort of is. And again, I don't have a specific moment to cite for this. So you can find the screen. You can find the screenshot that best fits.
Today, the part of Caitlin will be played by Jake.
But anything having to do with the Vulcan sensual massage.
Okay, yeah.
Because I just don't remember what specific episodes it happens in.
It first occurs in the Zindi. That's the one where she tricks Trip into it by her getting it first and having to be topless for no reason.
Yeah, I was going to say she gets naked, right?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to that one because Jesus Christ.
That fucking season.
And I blame Phlox too, so prepare for that to come up again in a couple of weeks.
Oh, gross. Can we say when we do Phlox, nobody can say the genocide thing? Because we're all going to say it. Just kidding. I'm only saying it because I don't want you guys to say it.
I specifically did not include that in my Archer list, so I could include it
Don't
in my
worry,
Phlox
the rest
list.
I'm just kidding. It's totally fair. And I did think of that after the fact. I was like, wait, didn't he totally okay the genocide? I should have been like, fucking A, Archer.
The stupid out of left field, nowhere, what the fuck is this fact that she's a fucking Vulcan super spy in the Seventh?
Yep, that was the top of my list.
Yeah.
That's not
Seven.
Her, that's also not her fault.
Whatever.
No, she signed up for that.
But also just because it's not just things that are their fault. There's also stupid things about the character.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think it's stupid that the writers were like, oh, let's give T'Pol this backstory about her being in the Vulcan
Black Widow program.
Yeah, whatever. And then
Section 31.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But then it never comes up again.
Nope.
Especially maybe when she was trying to overthrow the Vulcan government, she could have called some of her friends and was like,
Oh, they were. Here's the thing, though. Those guys were clearly in that government.
Oh, yeah, that's-
Yeah.
They
that's a
were
good-
definitely
yeah.
fascists.
They're
That's
all
true.
Velocist
but you
friends
think that
now.
at least her spy skills might have come into play.
Yes,
during
that is true.
But no, it only came up for that one episode, and then we never hear about it again. And then, that time she was hitting the pipe hard, her stupid
Trillium
D
addiction.
addiction. And if you need a moment, I don't know, when she sneaks into the cargo bay
Yeah.
that's totally damaged just so she can steal some Trillium D to free base.
Trillium D is totally... Her Trillium D addiction was one of mine.
Yeah.
Also. Because she should fucking know better. She's all
Yeah.
about logic. Well...
Like, they could have made it better if it weren't just for the fact that she wanted to. And if it had been in service of the character or the plot, I would understand.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, even if she's like, all right, so I was exposed to Trillium D on this ship, and I liked, or at least I was intrigued by feeling emotions more freely. There's gotta be a better way to access them
Yeah.
than shooting liquefied metal into yourself. Like, do some anti-meditation. I don't know what that is, but try that.
Rapid eye movement therapy, I think, might be...
There we go.
the
Like, there's
opposite.
gotta be a more logical way to approach this.
I actually watched a really good American Dad episode recently where they were trying to make Stan empathetic and they send him to a rapid eye movement
Oh.
therapist and he's crying about everything because he's just like,
There are good American Dad episodes?
dude, American Dad is a great show.
Really?
Have you ever watched it? Really?
The first season, and then I got turned off.
I
real
don't
fast.
remember the first season specifically, but I will say that I think Chris agrees with me, maybe. I think it's definitely the better show than Family Guy.
Oh, definitely.
And it's definitely good. I mean, and it gets better. And I love Roger. I think Roger's hilarious.
Roger the
A
Alien?
little gay
Yes.
alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I had the early stuff. The early stuff was probably a little more hit or miss, but yeah, it's definitely the better written of the two shows.
It settles
by
into
far.
itself and it becomes like full satire.
You know,
Like,
it doesn't-
It's definitely
it-
not.
yeah,
Or
it doesn't-
parody or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't rely on the stupid cutaway gags.
Oh,
and-
yeah, the cutaway guy.
So therefore, the stuff actually happens organically, and it relies less on pop culture references. I mean, it is itself
It's kind
a
of,
direct result of, because it was very much a parody of the immediate post 9/11 America and all that. So that's unavoidable. But even so,
Anyway, this is a long episode. Can
Yes.
you tell me
sorry.
three things?
Well, I already told you one.
What was it?
Trillium D.
Yes, the Trillium.
She was hitting that Trillium
And
D when she should have been hitting that Tucker D.
And speaking of Tucker's D, so this is a two-part, so it's sort of one thing. No, it's two things.
Cool.
So, I was sort of on the, like you were saying that you put the marrying dickbag in the good column,
Mhm.
and I think I would normally have put it in the bad column, but I'm rethinking it. However, what I can put in the bad column either way is the way she treats Trip over it. And subsequently, after being like, no, Trip, I'm getting married, is like, I'm jealous that Trip has girlfriends.
Yeah, that was a pretty...
Yeah,
the jealousy episode was fucking stupid.
Any jealousy episode, like, it gives me early Neelix. We know I don't like early Neelix. I can't. So that's it. That's it. Mistreats Trip and
Jealous.
and being a jealous hoe. Not a hoe. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even say that as a joke, because T'Pol is so heavily sexualized and treated so badly that even me jokingly calling her a hoe, it feels dirty. So I retract the hoe.
Retract the hoe.
yeah. So I don't have much in the way of original. The Trillium D thing. Like, again, I get what you wanted, but there had to be a better way to do it.
They already gave her Vulcan AIDS, and they also had to make her a drug addict too. Were they just making like an 80s PSA with
Seems
her?
like it, yeah. And the argument I made was, if you want to make an addiction statement, have her get addicted because she was trying to, like, increase her immunity because the ship needs it.
Yeah, which would have...
Like,
yeah, that's right. That would have been better.
That's the logical reason, and you know what she's supposed to be as a Vulcan? Fucking logical.
And this one I was very, hesitant to include because it sounds like I could be... In Fusion, she should have told Archer to go fuck himself when he kept being like, go hang with the Vulcans.
Oh, I said this for fucking years.
But I just want to make it plain. What happens to her, I'm not trying to say it's her fault, and I feel like I'm almost saying that, and I'm not, I promise. I'm just blaming her for not kicking Archer in the dick and being like, I am not going to befriend someone I don't want to, John.
Also, we
But
could
he
put this on the bad list for Archer.
I
Yeah.
did.
Oh,
Oh
good.
no, I don't think it made the full list, but it was in one of my like 25 bad
Yeah.
Archer moments.
Well,
Yeah.
guess what, Archer? Everything bad in this show somehow comes back to you, you twat.
Yeah. And again,
It's
not...
really too bad. You know, Scott Bakula seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, it seems like if they'd written a nice captain, he could have nailed it.
He would have been great.
And this is not something she did, but that the show inflicted upon her. The Ponfar plot and bounty.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
This is Ponfar enough.
That was the last of my top 3 that hasn't been mentioned yet. Because, anytime Ponfar comes up, it's making the list!
Yeah.
You know what else it makes the list
Baking
every...
it twice. Checking it twice.
Baking it twice?
Checking it twice.
You know what else makes the list every time it comes up? Fucking Umox! Because she
Oh,
performs
yeah!
Umox in Acquisition
I forgot about that.
when she should have just fucking neck pinched literally all the Ferengi.
Yeah.
And
I
she
want-
didn't, and fuck that.
I wonder, since they have all those nerves there, could you ear pinch a Ferengi into unconsciousness?
Ooh.
If you
Gross.
punch a Ferengi in the ear, it must
Is it like-
hurt.
yeah.
Or
It's
they
like
come
getting
real
kicked in
hard.
the nuts.
Well, there was that
Ooh.
episode where
Depends
like
on their kinks.
Quark starts doing his really creepy moan screaming when the Klingon that's working for... Who's that Klingon working for? Oh, the bad dude that wants to take Dax. He gets punched in the ear, and then they're like, oh, it's a fracture of his blur blur blur, which was a lie, but, I mean, I wonder if that's for real. He's like, it could be deadly.
Cool. I have a couple more. Oh, this is related to all the Trip shit, and this is after they've kind of quasi-broken up, but he's back on the ship in Bound, and they have their
Oh,
stupid connection.
God.
But all episode long, she's just like, Trip, why can't you say you like me? And he's like, I don't, it's fine, I have to leave, because I can't be around you. And it's so childish that it's going to probably be on both lists how they treat each other for this segment, and god damn it.
I already forgot about the fact that they were like a forced dyad for an episode.
Yeah.
God, that fucking episode is trash.
Yeah.
I have already forgotten, so, I mean, and I forget everything about everything we watch, but, like, I feel like my brain really did a quick power dump on this show. Ames, you got more, though, don't you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick one more, and it's
Let's
going
see
to
what you
be...
Oh, yeah, number 8 is good.
Number 8 is good. Oh, number 8 is good. Okay, yeah, she totally... Once Trip gets pregnant and unexpected, she does nothing but blame him for it.
Oh, God, that's
Yeah.
right. What a bitch.
Yeah, that one's pretty gross. So, yeah. Sometimes DePaul
Especially
doesn't like
'cause-
listening to other people either.
That's kind of Vulcans.
But especially since he, like, certainly didn't do it on purpose. He didn't even know it was possible. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a dude. He was never going around thinking, maybe I could get pregnant. And then it's like, oh, you're suddenly pregnant. Sorry.
Can I can a dishonorable mention.
I would love it.
Sure.
Yeah, do it.
After her and Trip bang, she fucking ices him out. And like I thought that was very not cool. Where she
Aw.
pretends she's like
Oh,
it was
when
an
she's
ex-
like, it was an experiment to see
Oh,
what
yeah,
human,
yeah.
like, mating rituals
when
are.
like in like reality she fucking was DTF and loved it, and then
Oh, yeah. She was
And
she was dripping for it,
and-
Jake.
and-
She
Oof.
yeah,
and-
sorry.
but then like I don't know, I just feel like she treated him like shit for no reason.
Yeah, she does. It's unfortunate.
And like it was her own hang-ups, the reason why she did it. But
Yeah. Oh, I do have one last honorable mention.
Honorable or
Or
dishonorable?
dishonorable.
Honorable.
Mm.
Because I meant to say it earlier and forgot.
Is it eating pecan pie? Because that's on my honorable
That's
mention
a
list.
good one. The scene with Elizabeth
Yes.
before she has a name.
That's high on my list.
And she's
yeah.
just like, hello,
Oh,
baby.
the baby?
And
I'm
she, like,
going to
doesn't
take care
know.
of you
Yeah.
now.
Does not know what to do with a baby.
And by the end, she
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
I also kind of think maybe a dishonorable mention. I know that for Sim it's kind of organic, but her deciding to like put her feelings for Trip onto Sim is a little gross. Like it's like substitutionary, and it doesn't feel.
Is it that or is it the other way around?
I think that she likes Trip already and gets into Sim because she likes Trip and because Sim is like, well, you know, I think you're hot and Trip wants to fuck you. Like
It's definitely
either way,
complicated.
it's kind of ugh.
Yeah, see, I wasn't sure that she was interested in him yet at that point, and I think her relationship with Sim was kind of his own thing. And I actually really liked them. Like her goodbye kiss to Sim was on my very good list. Somewhere
Fair enough.
in
Well-
the list.
Either way, whatever way it goes, that flip-flop relationship is a little bit weird.
The whole, you see, I was iffy on the sim kiss because it kind of feels like a Make-A-Wish kid sort of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Plus, he's only 10 days old or whatever. I mean...
Well.
Go ahead, Ames. Tell me he's fully matured. It's fine.
Flashback.
I'm just kidding. I love you.
Uh,
Ames is like, I will kill you when we
Get
turn
out.
this microphone off.
I'm keeping Luoxana.
No! My precious.
All right. Well, folks, that has been our T'Pol extravaganza.
And our Christmas extravaganza.
And our Christmas multiple extravaganzas.
And
so,
a deeply mid-episode of Discovery.
yeah, not the best.
Deep-
Funny because
Mid.
a lot of people really like this one.
Really?
Yeah, like I kept reading like when they were shooting all the scenes with Doug Jones and he was crying and everyone on the crew was crying because it's so beautiful.
Everyone's always
And
crying.
then, and then I watched it. It's like I wonder which scene they were referring to.
I mean, he was good, but
yeah, like
he was surrounded by a lot of
Yeah, I was expecting like this moment of like real emotional catharsis or something, and I was just watching it like.
They
Which
were,
don't
they were
actually
crying
know.
because they were getting eaten by mosquitoes.
We all have triple E.
I just to imagine, like, all the actors are just kind of sitting around, it's like, where the hell's the key grip? And in the background, there's just a human being dragged away through the air by a swarm of
I
mosquitoes.
mean, that's what
Like,
happened to those Klingon corpses that Laurel found.
oh, yes, true.
Which, by the way, I didn't mention it, but man, holy fucking blood
Yeah.
and guts gore.
Yeah.
Jesus, the chopped up Klingons.
Yeah, that was
gross.
Maybe we'll get some more next week in...
Into the forest I go. Wait a minute.
Sounds like that should have been the title
Yeah, we
of
did.
it.
We
Aren't
already did
we
that.
already in the forest? Is
Yeah.
this a Firefly situation? Did they actually put the episodes in the wrong order, and that's why we're in Tabula Rasa?
Maybe. Yeah, well, anyway, next week is Into the Forest I Go. I'm guessing it's a metaphorical forest as opposed to the literal forest this week, but maybe, I don't know, maybe they beam back down.
They very well may. I
knows?
genuinely don't fucking remember.
Who knows? We'll find out next week on A Star to See Her By, and I imagine we're also going to talk about Trip?
Trip Tucker.
Yay, well, that'll be
Yay.
fun, because there's lots of moments with him, and then it's all downhill. But anyway, we'll get to that and much more, I am sure, next week on A Store to Star By, the podcast that you are listening to right now, which you can listen to more of at SoundCloud on the internet at www.com/SSHB podcast.
Amazing.
www.com.
Sounds right to me.
You can
That's
also
correct.
find us on Facebook. Are you okay over there?
You're laughing too.
I know, I'm laughing because you're making me laugh. So I'm trying to get through this. SSHB Podcast, Facebook, Tumblr, SSHBpodcast.com. Find us on your internet, phone, smartphone, iPhone, Android, other,
Palm Pilot Plus.
all the things.
Google Max.
Listing now.
Get them all. I got an I got a Google Pixel Watch now. I can even
noticed.
do podcasts on there if I want. So you can get us wherever. So there's no fucking excuses anymore. Get the podcast, listen to it, get down, follow our Tumblr, send us a card in the mail. Let us know how much you love us.
And if you're looking for us on Twitter, you're not going to find us there.
We already quit Twitter because we don't like it anymore.
And then I quit Twitter because we quit.
That's
wow,
awesome.
Because we twit
We're
Twitter.
starting a movement.
Well,
Everyone
I mean,
quit Twitter.
I'm part of the podcast. I don't know if I count as a movement.
I will take.
I
More like
It's
a
a
bowel movement.
I'll take credit for destroying Twitter. Sure. So, who have you been?
All right.
You can't. Elon Musk has already got credit for that. Hey-yo.
Wow. I have been Jake.
This has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
And this is always Caitlin.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
And a happy New Year and a good Life Day. That's the
Yes.
Vulcan, no, the Wookiee one.
Wookiee one.
Wookiees like all the holidays that you celebrate.
Right, and if you
That were
celebrate
in the
no
past.
holidays, may your fucking totally normal Wednesday be fantastic, and may you find something open for you to eat for dinner.
Well, we come out on Thursday, so.
I understand, but Christmas is on a Wednesday.
Oh, I hear you.
Was on.
It
Was
already
on
happened
a Wednesday.
ages ago.
Well, I hope you found something good to eat on
Well,
Christmas.
Rip Jesus.
No, that's Easter.
Oh. Well, he's still dead.
True.
I'm
I'm gonna hit stop now. The eye is a complex thing. Sometimes people have extra internal eyelids like Vulcans.
And you don't even
Oh
find out
my
about it.
God.
You don't even find out about it until it's totally helpful to the plot.
And
Yeah.
all reptiles and some...
Holy shit, was that a good segue?
Mammals.
That
I
was
just-
my point,
I just
yes,
walked
you-
over the
yeah,
segue.
you
I'm so sorry.
stepped all
Try it
over it.
again. Try it again.
Nope, too late to Paul.
Damn it!